Ladies and gentlemen, the long-awaited, highly anticipated coach of all coaches, Dan Parnell from Hazelwood Central, ladies and gentlemen. Dan's been very kind to me over the months. I've called him all kinds of different stuff. Did I get the name right?
Parnell, yes.
Back in the day, if you only had so many players, they would put you out and left out on a baseball diamond. You put me, I don't know where you would put me on a soccer field. So anyway, Dan, Hazelwood Central is, in my book, legendary, and I never heard about it. But I mean, you had Steve Moyers there. Am I correct?
I believe so. Yes.
And I mean, that guy was just off the charts, man. And it is a magnificent school. As you go out, you see it right off the road. It's very nice. They used to have nice grass fields. You still have those?
Well, we have a grass field, and we also have turf.
Nice. But the grass is real grass and level and everything, is it?
Pretty much.
Okay.
It hasn't got all the attention that it used to get now that we have a turf field, but it's still very playable, still all grass.
There you go. So Dan, my buddies from up north, they would say, "Hey, stop! You give a woodpecker a headache." So, Dan, lay it on us. Tell the soccer community what Hazelwood Central has been, is, and will continue to be.
Well, in the past, they were always a power in the old suburban north. They fell on some hard times, obviously, as the exodus of soccer players from North County over to St. Charles County. I took over towards the tail end of the 2023 season when the head coach walked away. So last year, we kind of rebuilt. We won the conference. This year, we're trying to improve on that. We're in the running for conference. Currently, we sit at 10-6 overall. And we're watching the middle schools. Hopefully, they've started a program now that they'll develop some talent to be feeders for us.
Nice. So, what class and district are you in?
We are Class 4, District 2.
All right, then. So, there it is. I mean...
Yeah. We pull Francis House Central in the first round.
Oh, there you go. When you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. And I tell you, when they talked about Cinderella, you were the first ones I thought of. I mean, this is a real deal. Hazelwood Central, they're not taking a back seat to nobody, no how. So Dan, you see, you're the most straightforward guy I ever had on the podcast, and it's been over 300 episodes. So you're well certified, Dan, for now. I mean, come on. Yeah. So with the do you coach the whole program, or are you focused on the girls?
I do both. I do girls and boys.
There you go. And that takes a question from listeners. How about, do you think that's the best way and really the only way, or do you go one and the other?
I like doing both. That way, everything you have as far as equipment and training equipment and whatnot can be used for both programs, where at some places coaches may be possessive of what they have. If they're girls and the girls program bought it, they might only want to use it there. If it's boys and the boys program bought it, they might just want to use it there.
Right.
I don't know because I'm not in those other schools, but we use it all for the same.
There you go. There you go. And the story goes is that in the girls' season, there's a lot more outside distractions than there are the boys. If I'm mistaken, please correct me.
Well, you have a lot of proms to deal with. Not only your own school, but if they're going to proms for other schools. For the boys, you have pretty much as homecomings. And obviously in the boys for homecoming, they don't do a whole lot, where the girls have to have all these appointments because they need to get their hair done and so forth. So, they miss practices and in some cases games because of their restricted availability for those different appointments be all ready for the prom. So that gets to be a pain.
And Dan, as far as your resume, do you have a bunch of coaching certificates, or did you learn the School of Hard Knocks from up there in North County, or how did it all your love of coaching high school soccer come about?
Well, I originally started way back when in 1974 at the old Florissant Corey League.
Woo! Man.
And spent years there. And then I was a soccer commissioner there for years and on their board of directors. Then I went to Florissant United, the club team, where I was the president for about 6 years, and I coached 2 teams for most of the time. From there, I went to the Plumbers, coached a couple teams there. Spent 7 years on the board of directors for MISA. I was the administrator for the old CYO/CYC select leagues for about 20 years. Ran the CYC high school tournament during that time. Rebuilt it. It had dwindled to about 24 teams. I built it back up to 48. Started a JV tournament and a freshman tournament, and also had the girls tournament. So I've done a lot over the last 50 years. Took a break for a little bit in I guess from about 2005 when I had businesses going. And then, like I said, I joined Hazelwood Central in 2023 as an assistant for the girls program. And that summer, I was named the head coach of both programs, boys and girls.
Well, my jaws dropped, and I'm going to say, you're well certified, Dan, for that. I'm not kidding you, man. I thought you were just fresh out of college. This was your first rodeo. Holy cow, man. you've been some places, and oh man, that was a fine time and a kind of a cool place to be out there at that soccer park with that CYC tournament. Yeah. That was really.
We took it from the old bracketed format to the World Cup format. My second year of running it, and it just grew and grew. All the big schools came back in. The crowds came. It was fantastic.
Yeah. So on full disclosure, I was at a final one year, and they had just starting out the club for the big club for somebody over there. We couldn't play on the main field. You had to switch, and there was more people around that field, like in the old days, than was in the great, number one, field. That's a soccer park. It was really a testament.
Back then, they were pretty restrictive of field number one. They only let so many games play on it a year. And it took us a while before we were able to get our championship game on that field.
Uh-huh. All right, then. Wow. That's some inside scoop right here at Wales Certified. So, do you teach, or do you're just happy to be with the school district for coaching?
I do not teach. I'm just there as a coach.
Man, oh man. They give you an office or a little closet or something, or
I have a storage room.
Yeah. That you gotta start. You gotta start somewhere. Nice going, man. I tell you. So all that travels that you have done, and you seem like a straight shooting son of a gun. What is your thoughts? And Wales Certified is begging you. Give us your state of soccer in the last 5 years, 10 years, and the outlook you feel about it.
Well, it's obviously growing. St. Louis City has really spurred growth. I'm not as well knowledge on the clubs as I used to be. Back when I was a club coach, we didn't get paid, and obviously with the growth of some of the mega clubs now, it's become very expensive to play club soccer. And I think that hurts the lesser talented players. It hurts players from some geographical areas because of the finances involved. Granted, some of the clubs do have programs that they help pay for them. But I think it kind of limits the advancement of some players, especially if they're late in developing.
That's a very interesting point that you made, Dan, is that the latecomer to the development, that there is my gosh, there is juniors and seniors that you say, holy cow, where'd you come from, man?
Yeah.
Yeah. As far as, physical attributes, skill, soccer IQ, wow, it's really a dandy type of deal.
Well, and with the exodus of the clubs from North County, we're getting kids in the high school that have never played soccer before.
Wow.
Last year I had 10 players out of my 21 on the roster that had never played soccer.
Wow.
So there's just no grassroots anymore. Um, Between the club teams exiting, the rec programs like the old Corey leagues are pretty much gone. The CYCs are really, really down in North County. I'm not even sure how many schools still have teams, but there's just no way to develop the players.
Nice. You mentioned earlier about the middle school with the school districts and stuff. That's an interesting. I've never heard of that, and that development there. Would it be? How do you envision it becoming?
Well, it's fairly new program. They're expanding the sports that they offer, every year. I think this might be the second year, maybe third for soccer. Um, it's not going to be a great development tool because I don't know how much they practice, how many touches they get a week on the ball. But if the kid's interested, at least it gets them out there
Yeah, yeah,
and gets them started, and hopefully it will keep their interest as they come into high school.
yeah.
You know, we're trying. We haven't gotten there yet. We got close to add a JV program to the school. A few of the schools in our conference were able to do that this year. They had the numbers. Hazelwood East, McClure, um, both added JV teams to the girls this year. And that's something we're still shooting for. And hopefully, with the interest driven by the middle schools, those players will continue as they come to the high school.
Nice, nice. Have you seen the college recruiting being of interest to schools in the North County area?
Some, yes. I had from the boys last year. I had several players that uh, had interest from colleges. I have a couple girls that have interest from colleges. One's only a junior, and she's already getting a lot of a recruitment. She's had a lot of visits already. So
Nice.
if the player is good, and we can get them out there, um, the coaches to come. I had one of the boys just signed for Mo Baptist. St. Louis Community College has looked at a couple of the boys. So
Yeah,
it's starting to filter back.
nice. And I mean to tell you, I can't. You said if you're when you really have an interest in your love for the game and you want to display the game in a competition, people are looking, begging for people like that, and you shall be found. I mean that I don't see where the disconnect from a good player if they live, just a couple blocks from school to go to Hazelwood Central instead of going to, a big soccer school. I, am I off base, or as your experience says much the same thing?
Well, the really good players if they can afford it, they're going to go to the private schools. We have kids from North County that obviously they go to the CBCs, the Smiths, and all of them. But we also have some that go over to Alton Marquette.
Nice. Holy cow. That's right. You're right there, right up there at the. How is it, man? Do you get all kinds of goofy weather up there with the Mississippi and the Missouri coming together?
Oh yeah, we get a lot of rain this year.
Uh huh. And what do you use the AstroTurf, or can you go inside at a gym, Hazy?
Well, if it's not actually raining or lightning, we'll use the turf. We play all of our games on turf. Um, Last year, we played all the games for the boys except one on turf because we had a football conflict. Uh, but the games are pretty much always on turf. And if it rains or lightning during practice, we go inside to a gym.
Nice. Yeah. That lightning, man. Wow. So here you go, Dan. It's a pretty much of a custom. And I have to ask you, Coach Dan, is there anything you want to say that we didn't talk over, that you wanted to make sure you brought forth?
Well, we're rebuilding our program. Next year for the girls, we are actually adding an 8-team tournament at the end of the season, hosted by Hazelwood Central at Hazelwood Central. We've already filled the field with 8 teams, so that's encouraging. Last year for the boys, we actually had 2 players selected to St. Louis Best 11. This year for the girls, we've had two girls selected, St. Louis Best 11 second team. So we're slowly but surely rebuilding.
There you go, Dan. I'm excited about that, man. I would keep an eye out, I'll guarantee. So it's a custom here at Wales Certified to say, Dan, whatever you want to say to who you ever want to say it to for as long as you want to say it for. This is your opportunity.
Just if any of the kids in Hazelwood Central School District geographical area hears it, come on out.
I mean, I got goosebumps, man. Come on out and play some soccer. You'll learn it. So man, I tell you, I would love to be like a fly on a sideline watching some of your practices or a game. I mean, you seem like you are a genuine St. Louis soccer personality.
Well, we take the players and we put them in places on the field that we think they'll succeed. We won't put them out there in a position that we think will overwhelm them or that they will fail in, because that does nobody any good.
Right. All right then, Dan. I mean, to tell you, I wish you the best in the last couple games of the regular season, and congratulations to all the best 11s, and to get into the conference and the districts to go on to state. That the what's the mascot? Hazelwood Central what?
Hawks.
Yeah, that's who I thought it was. There ain't no pigeons flying around the Hawks, man. All right.
We got some Canadian geese that like to be on our grass field.
Wow. All right then. I Is it okay to go, Coach?
Yeah, we're good.
All right, then. You're the best of the best. And remember, you're a Wales certified coach, and I'm putting in the whole Hazelwood Central Hawks. I mean, the soccer program, boys and girls. You've done a great job out there. Congratulations. Keep it up.
All right, thank you.
All right, now. Bye-bye.